aspiring teachers! Teacher Faith here. In this video, let us try to answer 10 questions about literary criticism. Take note for the directions. I'll give you 5 seconds to read and answer the 10 questions. Then at the end of the video, feel free to comment your score in our comment section. So, are you ready, future teachers? Let's get started. Okay, for number 1, which is known as the science of interpretation? A. Hermeneutics. B. Textual exegesis. C. Literary appreciation. Or D. Post-colonial criticism. Okay, time is up. The answer is letter A, hermeneutics. So why not letter B? Well, when we say exegesis, it is the careful investigation of the original meaning of texts in their historical and literary context. It includes the study of the cultural backgrounds of the author, text, and original audience. According to Nigerian authors Ngozi Anegubu and Okenadi Owakwe, literary appreciation is reading, understanding, and making a critical judgment of the theme, style, use of figurative and non-figurative language, as well as other elements of the literary work. On the other hand, Assistant Professor Angela Mangione emphasizes that post-colonial criticism focuses on relationship between colonizer and colonized people in literary texts and analyze whether a text upholds or subverts or overthrows colonial ideals. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. What literary approach requires the critic to know about the author's life and times? A. Mimetic. B. Historical. C. Formalist. Or D. All of the above. Okay, the answer is letter B. Historical. A formalist approach looks only at the text and excludes the life and times of the author. In the mimetic approach, it may be helpful to look into the author's background, but it is not required. Okay? So, let's move on to number 3. Which of the following does not allow intertextual reading of literature? A. New criticism. B. Marxism criticism. C. Feminism criticism. Or D. Post-colonial criticism. Okay, time is up. The answer is letter A. New criticism. Marxism, feminism, and post-colonial criticism situate literature in the context of ideology and society. While new criticism, on the other hand, encourages close reading, and therefore textual interpretation is not recommended. Now, take a look at the descriptions below. What do you think are the features of the new criticism? Now, here are the choices. A, B, C, or D. The answer is letter C. When the emphasis is on how a text means, it is a structuralist literary theory. So this literary theory, which is based on Ferdinand de Saussure linguistic theory, assumes that literature as an artifact of culture is modeled on the structure of language. Okay, let's move on to number 5. A critic examining Pope's an essay on men asked herself, how well does this poem accord with the real world? Is it accurate? Is it moral? So she is most likely a blank critic. A. Mimetic. B. Feminist. C. Formalist. Or D. Reader response. Okay, the answer is letter A. Mimetic. The word mimetic is derived from the Greek word mimesis, which means an act of imitation. Alexander Pope's An Essay on Man attempts to indicate or justify the ways of God to men. The mimetic approach focuses on asking how well the literary work conveys universal truths and teaches the reader positive moral values and modes of personal conduct. Feminist critics, on the other hand, focus on how women's lives have changed throughout history and how different their experiences are from men's. It also studies the male-dominated canon in order to understand how men have used culture to further their domination of women. Speaking of formalists, they focused on these biases and technical elements introduced by the writer in order to make language literally. And finally, the reader's response pays attention to the reader's reaction and interpretation of literary texts. Okay? Alright, so move on to number 6. In a Freudian approach to literature, concave images are usually seen as A. Male symbols, B. Phallic symbols, C. Female symbols, or D. Evidence of an Oedipus complex. Of course, the answer is letter C. In a Freudian approach to literature, concave images are usually seen as female symbols. Such images, includes pawns, cups, and capes. Phallic symbols are any objects that resemble or might be taken as a representation of male generative powers, such as cigar, pencil, tree, skyscraper, snake, or hammer. Oedipus complex is an unconscious infatuation of a boy towards his mother and sees his father as a rival. Okay? So, number 7. Which of the following excerpts is an example of paradox? A. The child is the father of the man by William Wordsworth. Or B. Don't we all love and hate war? C. At the drunkard's funeral, 4 of his friends carried a bier. Or letter D. Oh hateful love, oh loving hate, I burn and free like ice by William Shakespeare. Okay, time is up. The correct answer is letter A. Take note that a paradox is a statement that seems to be self-contradictory or opposed to common sense. Another example is Oscar Wilde's "It is awfully hard work doing nothing." Okay? So option B is a rhetorical question to which the answer is obvious and therefore not expected. The line in letter C is a pun or a play on words that have the same or a similar sound but different meanings. In this case, the German word beer, B-I-E-R, either refers to a type of alcoholic drink called beer or a Tottenberry, which means die. For option D is a line taken from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. It is an oxymoron given that two contradictory words, love and hate, are used together. Contradictory words are mostly adjectives and nouns. Okay, so let's move on to number 8. Critics of this literary approach discern a flaw in discourse and then reveal hidden articulations. A. Archetype. B. New criticism. C. Psychoanalytic. Or D. Deconstruction. The answer is letter D. Deconstruction. New criticism is concerned with a text, language, and organization. Archetypal, on the other hand, identifies repeated or dominant images or patterns of human experience in the text, such as the changing of seasons, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, the heroic quest, or immortality. Psychoanalytic theory encourages the reader or critic to be creative in speculating others about the characters or author's motivation drives, fears, or desires. Okay, so let's move on to number 9. Number 7 is an archetype associated with A. Birth, B. Death, C. Astrology, or D. Perfection. Okay, so the answer is letter D. Perfection. Okay, 7 was the perfect number for Greeks. It is also the number frequently used in the religious literature of Hebrews. For instances, Genesis 2 says, God rested from creation on the seventh day. Okay, so last number 10. Which descriptions of literary theories or approaches are not true? A. Formalism is criticism for meaning. B. Marxism rejects the ideal of art for art's sake. C. New criticism promotes close reading and interpretation. Or D. Psychoanalytic theory attempts to interpret symbols in literature. Time is up. The answer is letter A. Formalism focuses on the structure of the text rather than its meaning. And that's it. I hope you enjoy our review and you get a lot of learnings today. So thank you for watching and padayon!